What's up everyone and welcome back to a brand new video on the channel. Welcome to some Forza Horizon 5, and in today's video, since Horizon Realms has been released and obviously everybody gets to play them, even the people on the PlayStation, so welcome all the new PlayStation players to Forza Horizon 5. Since you guys are playing them as well, it means that there's a lot more people on the old... Where did I get this? I don't even know. Anyway, there's a lot more people playing on the leaderboards, which is very sick. So, as you can see, I've obviously done a run on each one of these, but a lot of these I've pretty much just gone into them, kind of driven around a tiny bit, and then I just went AFK for about 5 minutes until it's finished. Basically, just so I could get the Lamborghini Revuelto and pretty much all the other cars as well. So, the only one that I've actually kind of messed around with and tried to do something in terms of a skill score, I think it was the stadium track, right? So if I go into this and I check the leaderboards, obviously there's a couple of people cheating here. Oh yeah, also, there's a new thing here. If I go into this, is an in-game report feature. How sick is that? That's actually very, very cool. Before, I'm pretty sure every time you click this, it would end up loading in like their Xbox profile to try and show up. So you can now just report cheaters like this, which hopefully just goes straight over into the Playground Games like studio, you know, people, and they kind of get rid of the scores. So what I was thinking about doing is, what if I go and I try to get maybe like top 1,000 on one or two of these events? On this one, I think I've already done it before. I'm not anymore, obviously. But let's try it maybe on one of these ones here, which seems like you could get quite a lot of points here for some of these. We could, again, do that. Boom. That is so much faster than like doing the whole reporting them through the system. Alright, so the only problem is that these are going to be very, very boring to do. So if you're watching a video and you see me doing all these, you'll realize how boring it actually is to do some of these. I've actually never really done this. I used the unicorn, the one that I'm using right now, but I've never really tried to do it properly. So let's go to scale mode. Let's use my Gymkhana unicorn V2 that I have built here. This is the one that gets a lot of points when sliding and crashing. So I'm not 100% sure what the best way to approach this is. Obviously trying to crash, but I think pretty much this is how you get all of your points. Back and forth, up and down the highway. Crashing into things. Getting that multiplier to basically go up as quickly as possible. As quickly as possible. As fast as possible. I don't even know what I'm saying. I'm trying to concentrate, but you have to do a mix of drifting and wreckage. Try and get your drifts to awesome or ultimate, and then you do something like this. Go all the way up. Again, trying to really crash into the barriers or anything. Well, try not to crash into the wall, because the wall obviously stops you. Or like the bit under the bridge here, see like these pillars. So what you can do is pretty much exactly what I'm doing here. And you just kind of do this for 5 minutes, really. So it's not really that difficult to do, but there are some tracks that I don't know how to do it properly. Because they won't have like the wreckage and all that sort of stuff that you'll see here. Now, why am I using this Unicorn V2? Oh, don't fall off. Because this thing has a multiplier that goes all the way up to 8. That's why. That's why you're using this. Also, I've noticed that if you go far enough away from the highway, the barriers actually do spawn back in. Which is very, very good. It's good for us. Try to stay hitting the barriers too much because it does slow you down. So that's a tree. Maybe avoid that. Turn around here. Even hit a little bit of this. A little bit of off-roading. It's fine. Just as long as we keep the slide going. Go a little wider here. Do one of those. So 2-point-something mil is what it is to be, right? I mean, I'm nowhere near that right now. I'm only at like, what, 600k? Actually, I don't know, to be honest, because I'm doing this way too fast, so the actual score itself is not keeping up. This is how you get your skill points, by the way. If you've never Okay. I've saved it. I mean it. Somehow. I've saved it. That was so sketchy. Why didn't I lose my points? Because there's one of the skills that you unlock with your skill points. You get basically like a second life. So if you crash into something, you can crash again twice before you lose all your skill score. Oh my god, that was so sketchy. I can't believe I fell off. I looked at the highway and I was like, I knew where I was, and then I immediately just fell off. Which sucks, but I mean, basically wasted a little bit of time. I can't also crash into anything that brings me obviously to a full stop. So I can't do that again. I just kind of have to do this. Okay, we're at this part here, so trying to fall off the bridge this time. Just go through the middle. There we go. I'm actually curious how many points I'm actually going to get here. Very, very curious. This is probably the easiest one to get a lot of points on it, I think. Because it's all in just like such a nice and simple place. Just go up and down the highway, just do this. My points? My points were gone! Why? For what? I didn't crash into anything. There was nothing. Oh, this game is shit. I didn't crash into anything to stop me from getting my points. All of that time. Oh my god, no way that happened. We go again, I guess. That is so disappointing. And it makes no sense either, because I didn't really crash into anything that would stop me from getting my points. There was nothing. It's like in some of the races, right? When you're playing with it like a super lightweight car. If you've ever played with the Sierra Alpha, like the what's it called, the 600R or whatever it's called. If you've ever played with that car, and you've ever done, or buggy, I guess, because it's kind of technically a buggy. But if you've ever played with that, and you ended up hitting like a curb in a race or something like that, if you're doing it like Rivals style, right? If you want to just do a clean run or a clean lap, and you just all you have to do is just mount the curb with it, and it absolutely shits itself, and you get a flag time. That is what that reminded me of. It made no sense. That is so stupid. Well, with this one, hopefully I won't fall off the map, or I won't fall off the highway, so we'll see how this one progresses. I'll see you guys in the end, because I'm not showing you guys the exact same thing that I've just done, by the way. Alright. I mean, it wasn't the cleanest thing in the world, but still think I've done a pretty good job at this one. Alright. 1.8. I'll take a 1.8. It's not great, but it'll do for now. Where am I in the world now? With that 1.8. It should be quite a bit higher. There's one or two of these, I was going to say, there's one or two of these Realms events where you just don't really have anything to crash into, so it's all just drifting. So I want to try some of those. I want to see what those are like. Like this one, for example, somehow, I don't know how people are getting like 2 mil points, but it's a bit weird the way you're getting 2 mil points with it. I get the 1 mils. I think those are fine if you can, you know, get your drifting spot on. But some of them, I just don't understand how you get the 2 mil. This was cool. The stadium maze was always kind of cool. Oh yeah, let's have a look at the leaderboard here. So what did I get? 1.8. Obviously, as you can see, more optimized ones get 2 mil pretty easily. Where am I though with 1.8? Pretty far down. I think I still am top 1000, but I'm just... Okay, I'm top 500 even. I'll take that. I'll take a top 500 for that one. I'll definitely do that. Alright, but like I said, there are some of these that I don't really understand. Like this one is a drifting one as well. Like, I don't know... It's still the unicorn that people are using, which is interesting. We're only getting, like, 1 mil points. Let's try this one. Let's try the Cars and Coffee one. I feel like the Cars and Coffee one, you have to kind of go around. There is one bit of this that you can do. You can get some air skills as well. But there are things you can crash into. So stuff like the trees and that. There's a little platform there that you can crash into. But this, I think you have to go quite a bit slower. And do one of these, and then as soon as you see your drifting level up, you just do that, and you go back on yourself, and then you crash into a couple more things. And then you need to try and go back on yourself again. But you also can't, like, keep your speed down. You have to, like, go faster, right? Because there's too many things to try and consider here with this one. Like, this one, I feel like it's going to be much harder to try and get the points that you want to get with it. Like this, I can obviously do a slide forever, but that's not going to do anything, right? You'll end up getting, like, the ultimate drift, and then that's it. You're just finished. That's where your combo just ends. So what you really want to do is you want to try and combine the wreckage skills with the drifting, and then you change direction. You maybe do a little bit of E drifting, you know, just yank the handbrake a little bit, you know, stuff like that. You need to try and combine your slides and everything. So, like, even drive a little bit off-road, maybe drive all the way back here. Maybe combine it with maybe an air skill. Let's try going up here, see if I can... There's a bit of an air skill into a slide. I don't know what I can hit and what I can't hit, so I'm not gonna... Hopefully that's just a drift tap, is it? Or that was probably just a straight up crash. That wasn't a drift tap. It was more like a drift crash. I can't actually see... How slow is this, by the way? I can't see the air skill, unless it's gone past. I'm looking at the skills that are counting up, right? Because they obviously show what you've been doing. One of them was obviously... Oh, have I actually caught up? I can't really tell, to be honest. No, that's a burnout. That burnout was ages ago. So you can see how slowly it's going up. I think what I'm doing here is the correct thing to do, right? I don't know if any of this really respawns back, but... Just trying to crash into anything, really. That is... Okay, this one's gonna be a burnout. So we'll see when that burnout pops up now. Let's see how delayed actual thing. Oh, J-turn. That's probably it there. The J-turn. It is pretty delayed. Still a few more things to crash into here, which is fine. Okay, maybe a couple of these. Go back on ourselves again. Try and catch maybe, I was gonna say, try and catch maybe like a sign or like a tree or something like that. That, I think, was just a drift tap. I think we should be fine. Go up here. Crash into a tree or two. Little tap off the wall. That is fine. As long as it's not a crash. I am running out of objects to hit, though, I'll tell you that. I know there's a few things here and there, but like on the actual path where I'm driving, it does... All the trees are breakable, except for these pieces of shit. I can't break these. My fault, game. I apologize. That is my fault. How did I not know that those trees are unbreakable? Fuck me. I can't believe I've done the same thing twice. I've hit off of nothing in the one on the highway, and I've lost my skill score. And here I hit off some trees, which they look like they're breakable. They're thinner than some of the palm trees and stuff like that that we've been crashing into. But the game's like, nah, lose your points. Those are unbreakable trees. Sorry. Unlucky, mate. Restart. I'm running out of things to break. And I can see my score is like kind of slowing down. I'm like caught up. If that makes sense. You know, the way on the highway part, it was like really slow the way it was counting up my score. It's slowed down a lot. So I'm what, about a mil? Okay. I'll take it. That one's harder. That was definitely much harder. As soon as you start running out of like objects to hit, it slows down drastically. Okay. Well, I still got a mil though. So I'm happy with that. 1.3 is actually pretty high up. Damn, 25th. I'll take a 25th for that one. Okay. Well, that was dumb. I mean, it was better, but it was dumb. There's obviously still ways to improve and get a lot better. Dungeon One Song is technically second in the world, if you don't count this idiot here. But yeah, that was jokes. Alright, well, there's obviously, like I said, better ways to approach and do some of these, but of course, if you don't make too many mistakes. But yeah, I wanted to try and see if I could get somewhere high up on the leaderboards on that. But that was kind of sick. I managed to somehow get myself into 25th place. 24th, I guess, if you don't want to count the cheer. Yeah, that was fun. That was actually quite fun to try and do some of these. I also want to come back and go into the rival events because obviously we have a new track over in this. The Horizon Stadium circuit, which is actually a really cool track. And I really want to try it with a bunch of different types of cars in all the classes. So if you want to see that, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. And I'll make a video on it, hopefully very soon. But for now, that's pretty much it. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys later. Let me know how you get on with the Realms leaderboards. If you guys are going for them, are you getting anywhere high up on the leaderboards or not? You've kind of seen the way to do it now since you've watched this video. So if you have one of these Unicorn V2s, make sure it is the V2. There's also another one. This one's a bit harder to get though, I think. You can still use the other one, but as you can see, if you let the thing pass, it is the V2 version of this car. How do you tell them apart? Well, this one has the darker livery than the other one. So if you go over to the other ones, you'll be able to see that the livery for those ones is brighter. There it is. There's the other ones. Why is this one better than these two here? Well, basically because the multipliers for this, it just goes up to 7. So I'll show you guys now the skill points or the skill tree. It only goes up to 7, it doesn't go up to 8, like the V2. So, it's not that it's bad, but it is worse if you want to basically consider it like that. So, you can see here, stay on target. Drive without fear, your car's skill multiplier is now up to 7. Whereas the V2 one, it goes up to 8. So, swap over to that and I'll show you guys what I mean by that. So, boom, swap over to this. And I'll show you the way that this one looks. I know that this one is also maxed out and that one isn't, but it's because I don't really care for that one. As you can see, this one up here, if you want it harder, it goes up to 8. Okay. But yeah, apart from that, just buy everything. Buy everything that you can. See the way like your drift and e-drift scores are increased by 25%, your air skills are increased, your ultimate skill chain scores are increased, your drift tap scores are increased, and then this was the most important one as well. Where your skill chains just got tougher, you can now have 2 collisions before your things go, basically. So, yeah, basically, pretty cool. It actually is. This is like one of the most perfect cars to actually get your skill points maxed out, as you've seen. I'm at 999. You basically just do what I just did in the realms, except you do it in open realms in open world, and then you just do the same thing, and you max out your skill points. I mean, you can just do it in realms now, and you kind of have a reason to do it in realms, by just doing that. Anyway, that's it for me. Thank you for watching. Hopefully you guys enjoyed today's video, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Goodbye.